Hey Nate,
Yeah?
what's the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000!
What? 9,000? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Return Policy.
Where we do co-op games.
Today we're going to be looking at Fight Crab, which is the second game published by Newsoft Entertainment. It's a 2v2 arena brawler that relies heavily on insane physics-based combat, over-the-top anime themes, and of course, giant enemy crabs.
The stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
I don't know if I would even call this a fighting game. I don't know what I would call, like, technically it's a fighting game, but it feels so different that I don't know. It's more of a party game where you can fight your friends, if that makes any sense.
It has elements of Super Smash Bros, like where you're constantly unlocking new stuff just by playing with your friends.
And they kind of take the percentage type of health system from Smash too. Like, you can get back up, and some of the crabs are really, really hard to knock over. We had a couple of matches where we would have people get up to like 600 or 700% before they finally got flipped over on their back and got pinned and taken out of the game. So they definitely kind of do that well.
Is there even any way to knock that thing over? Like,
you're
what
literally
the
just
fuck?
walking on the ceiling.
400.
Oh my god, this is some shit. Yeah, get in front of the train, bitch. Eat it. What's happening?
I'm back.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think one of the big things that hit us both right off the gate when we first interacted with this game was just heavy J-pop getting you pumped as soon as you get in there.
The music is just so good. I would say it's in my top 3 favorite anime intros of all time, even though it's not an anime, because it really has that effect to it. Like, you just turn it on, you get, like you said, this awesome K or J pop going on, and you're just like, all right, I'm in an anime and I am a giant enemy crab, and it's fantastic.
Did you know me when I literally grew my hair out and dyed it? Well, it was supposed to be blonde, but it turned out orange, and I spiked it up like Goku.
I do sadly remember those days. Yep.
It literally basically steals from Dragon Ball, Kamehamehas and stuff like that.
Okay,
And
well,
great.
it's a crab Kamehameha, all right? And instead of Super Saiyan, you're going Super Shellfish, all right? Get it right.
There is the whole 2v2 side of it, but there's also a co-op campaign.
Yeah, let's start with the co-op campaign, and then we can get into the multiplayer separately, I think.
Okay.
So I think, I wasn't even expecting, a campaign out of this with RPG elements and a shop where you're buying new items, you're unlocking new crabs and things like that. So that was just kind of icing on the cake, because I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those games that's something that you play with your friends when you can all kind of get together. But then they threw in that co-op campaign, and we're like, all right, we only need one friend, and we have that. So that was great for us.
We played the demo that was just that multiplayer mode, and then when we got the full game, having that co-op campaign, and then they introduced elements through a really cool tutorial system where they would reveal new mechanics to you as you played through the campaign together.
I think that was probably one of my favorite things about this, because it is such a different game, because it's so physics oriented. So as far as movement goes, your crab basically moves in the direction that you press on the D-pad, but then both of your sticks are controlling the claws independently, so there's a lot of in-depth stuff. So I like that they kind of rolled out the tutorials and introduced new things like climbing on walls and how to disarm your opponents and how to attack, because it is physics-based and it's so different. that it doesn't overwhelm you right out of the gate. So they kind of trickle in all these things, and it was nice because when they introduced those things, you felt like, oh hey, this is when I actually need to start using them. So it was just a nice way that they rolled everything out, and it kept you interested over time as well, because you're like, oh hey, I didn't know I could do that. And then you get these new fighting mechanics introduced to you, and you're like, oh, this is great, I can do these things in combat now. And it just made me want to play even more and more, to just kind of see what other things we don't know about as we were going through, you know?
Yeah, it really felt like you were like leveling up those Super Saiyan abilities. Like, I'm pretty sure you could fly the whole time, we just didn't know.
That's true. Yeah, that's that was one of the cool things. Like, I always picked the jets as my weapon because I'm like, I just love flying around, dropping down on people, you know, flying away. But yeah, when you go into that super shellfish mode, you can just start flying all over the place, and it really does feel like a stupid underwater version of Dragon Ball Z with crabs.
That's just the base power element of these crustaceans, where there's also like 100 weapons probably just being unlocked as you play.
Oh, there was constantly new stuff. Like, we would play a match and then unlock like 4 or 5 different weapons. And then, of course, every time you start a new level, you're like, oh, well, I've got to try this weapon out and this weapon out. And then just the fact that you can equip one weapon in one claw and then another weapon in the other claw, it just makes for basically unlimited weapon combinations, which was just fantastic.
Yeah, I was particularly a fan of the shield, but also there, just because you could block the incoming stuff, but like there was chainsaws and a bunch, and like throwing stars that would actually come back to you if you hit the enemy with them.
There was just so many ridiculous things. Like, you had a scooter that you could ride and just run people over. There was a manatee that you could like take a lance on, and we had some, you know, shellfish jousting going on. It was just, if it's a weapon that you can take, you know, out of the history book somewhere from the last 2,000 years, it's honestly probably in Fight Crab. Like you said, you got your throwing stars, you've got your weeb katanas. There's definitely something for everybody. There's a shotgun, you know, it's just the amount of stuff that's in there is insane. They all play differently, and it's wild, man.
You literally have Excalibur in there too.
And the other thing that's great is the environments.
There's a lot of environmental things.
Yes, there is.
So there's the candelabras at the church, where you can pick those up and use them as a quick makeshift ranged weapon.
Oh, you can actually like rip the church pews apart and throw them in chunks at people. You have the other level where you've actually, when you're underwater, you can actually reach up and catch the swordfish as they're swimming by, and then proceed to use them as a sword if you get disarmed, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and then there's the one where you're on top of the frozen food section and you can pick up a dead crab and bash another crab to death with their dead friend.
Also works as a shield and as a throwing star, so honestly, dead crabs are probably the most busted weapon in the game.
Yeah, and then I think one of the cooler ones is you can actually go to the desert level and pick up a tank with your bear claw and rip it apart and use it as a tank gun to shoot your opponents with.
A knife is useless against those massive claws. Have you ever seen Crab Battle? It's a meme from like 2006. There's probably like 20 people on the internet that still remember it.
A knife is useless against those massive claws. They could rip a tank apart.
All right, let's jump into the final verdict. What do you think about this game? What do you think, or should people be excited about crabs fighting? Fight crab?
I love this game. I really wish that it's gotten more traction. I kind of want the ranked mode to just pop off and be a serious thing, because it really is just fun. It's addicting. I haven't played anything like it, and I always love when I can sit down and say, hey, this feels new, because at this point in the gaming industry, everything's just been done to hell 1,000 times. So if you're looking for a unique experience, if you like feeling like you're living an anime as a giant crab, definitely pick this one up. It's a fun party game. You will have a blast with your friends. I can't recommend it enough. I give it 4 crabs out of 4 crabs.
I concur. I think it's really a hidden gem. I don't think it's getting as much attention as it deserves. We need a bunch more crab heads out there.
Yeah, and honestly, for the price point, I think the big thing that we had the issue with was the price point, but that's when we just thought it was like a 1v1 arena brawler. Now that we know there's a 2v2 mode, there's ranked, there's this whole single player cooperative campaign, it's definitely worth the price point for sure. You'll have tons of time unlocking things, just trying out different combinations, and you're just going to have a blast with it. So if you've got, you know, at least one other person to play with, I would definitely recommend it. If you've got 3 other friends that just want to goof around and just do stupid stuff as a crab, pick it up. You can't go wrong.
That's going to do it for us here at Return Policy. Let us know what you thought of Fight Crab in the comment section down below.
Come join us on our Discord server or come check us live on Twitch. We stream Mondays and Thursdays at 8 Mountain Time. What time is it for you in Hawaii?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Hawaiian time. There you go. That's the thing.
As for us,
We've got shit to play.
Shit to play. Bring some energy. Fight Crab! Do it with me. Fight Crab!
Ah, yes, the Roman Colosseum.
You didn't do it with me. Fight Crab.
Do we want to do like a Queen intro? Or we're just like... Oh, shit, I hit my Windows key.
I'm trying to get you at higher energy.
Dude, my energy is as high as it's gonna get at midnight. I'm not gonna lie. We hit peak energy about 2 hours ago.